All right, we're live. So, for all those people joining us, welcome to our third episode, I guess. This is a bi weekly thing. We have a couple of new folks joined us. Actually, no, one new folk that joined us is Matt.
Yep. Yeah.
Yes.
You want me to talk?
No. Just Terry will take over once I cut my ass up and start working on my stuff.
Oh, okay.
That's what I just usually do the intro and say, welcome to our broadcast. And if you have questions while we're broadcasting, please post them up. Terry will let us know about that. And we're good to go.
Did your YouTube update with it yet, or is it still doing it?
YouTube's updated.
Yep.
So go ahead, Terry. You have the con.
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to pull up the YouTube right now. Otherwise, I can't read anything.
Make sure you mute it.
I always do. Alright, we're golden. So Matt, as I was discussing, so is that the high new? Is that a larger grade high new? Like, what is it? I can barely tell.
This is the G System Shop 172nd High New Conversion Kit.
I knew it looked too big. I was like, that's way
so
bigger than a master grade.
This uses the perfect grade strike frame, and it uses.
Oh yeah, I see it now.
Yeah, this is probably out of all the high news my favorite design. It's really, and the kit itself is excellent.
Is it a resin base or did they go plastic?
No, it's resin. So
Oh God.
So it uses about 80% of the inner frame from the perfect grade kit. There's only a few pieces you really don't use. The only plastic on the outside of the kit that's from the perfect grade kit are these pieces right here on the arm towards the top. That's the perfect grade kit. There's a little piece around the wrist. All of this is resin. This piece of the shield is plastic.
Is that blue tack around that joint, or is that the part?
No, that's blue tack. That's just kind of temporarily, so when I put the shield on, it just kind of doesn't.
Oh, okay. You can take it off without an issue. Yeah.
Yeah, that won't be a permanent thing. What I'll probably do is once it's painted, I'll either thicken it up with a little bit of glue, hot glue or something, just kind of put it on there real quick and take it off. It's not blue. But I'm in the decaling phase right now, and been busting my butt solid. Every waking hour has been spent on this thing for the past month. So I've probably got about 200 hours into it already at least. So
that kit is just like a skeleton that goes over the perfect grade strike, or it cast it off that?
Let me show you the instructions real quick. I've got them right here. So,
because I might slightly be interested, but when you said strike, I'm like, oh God, I want to keep away from seed, but
no, it just uses the inner frame. So you need a perfect strike Gundam to build it. You need the frame. Okay. Stuff scattered everywhere. I'm in full blown chaos mode right now.
Yeah, no. As you get near the end of the project, I totally understand. All right.
So, for instance, this is the fin funnel instructions. The fin funnels that come with the kit are plastic.
Okay.
They're actually really nice. This is the second time I've actually owned this kit. I owned it once before, and I ended up selling it. They used to do the fuel pods in PVC, which was really nice because they were super light.
Yeah.
Now they cast them in solid resin this time.
Does that weigh it back? Does it? Because all the fin funnels, I would expect.
It actually does okay. I've had it on the stand with them in there, and they're not even. I don't have to pin them. They just pressure fit in there, and they stay just fine. So they're not even pinned. I haven't pinned a single. I've only pinned 3 pieces on this kit.
Did you have to do any hot water bends to anything to fix the resin, or was it good out of the box?
It is like snapping perfect.
Jeez.
It's a really good. This is like one of the few G System kits that is like perfect out of the box.
Whenever I see the G System kits, I want it, and then I just remember, when have you ever finished a kit in the last 3 years? Calm down.
Yeah, I mean, I have a bunch of them, and out of my experience, the best resin kit manufacturer ever has been NeoGrade. This Azabi I did 2 years ago was the best resin kit I've ever owned or built. It was perfect. It was perfect. G Systems kind of hit or miss. They've been re-releasing a bunch of their older kits, and I don't know if they changed casters or whatever, but the casting hasn't improved. So, yeah. Pretty good. This kit I knew because I'd had it before.
I knew of G Systems. I just don't usually keep up with them. If Clem pops up with something, I'll see it, or somebody else, but
Right.
I don't really keep in the market because whenever I hear about them, they're already sold out. I'm like, well, I'm too slow for this, so.
Well, G Systems is pretty good because what they'll do is when they start releasing their older kits, re-releasing them, you know they're getting ready for a new project. So I think the last one they did was the GPO, that big ugly GPO. Or whatever the big monstrosity. I don't know which one.
The one that has God, what's that? I want to say the
MLRS.
the Gundam is called the Papillion, the outer shell of the Dendrobium, right?
No, this is it's the RX-78 GPO-2A. So, can I share a link?
God, I'm drawing a blank.
Let me see if I can share a link.
I wouldn't know how to display it.
That Sazabi conversion I did was a G system, but that was a recast.
Is there a way to share a link on there? I'm not sure. Here.
I don't even know that one yet.
In the chat.
Oh, there it is. So I see it. I'll check it out myself.
That was their latest project, and I don't know. I hate that design. I think it's ugly to sin. So they're just started re-releasing new older kits, which tells me that probably in the next 4 to 6 months you'll see a new project pop up because they're starting to fund it.
Oh, you're talking about old Clunkzilla. I was like, God, what the hell is this? Like, what is he talking about? I'm like, yeah, Clunkzilla. It's just a giant Gundam that I don't even know how it moves around.
Well, yeah. We'll not argue about that because how does anything move around?
Yeah, I'm like, from what I recall, digging into the past, I'm like, I only saw that suit on Earth. I'm like, how did it move again?
Yeah. But I'm doing my favorite part of any build with decals. I love doing decals.
I feel like that's a lot of people's favorite. Actually, my favorite part is priming. Strange enough, I'm like, all right, it's becoming something. I actually kind of despise decaling a bit.
Well, to me, what it does is because one thing it does is, I know all the little errors and mistakes on this kit. As you build, I don't have a single kit that's perfect. I don't think anyone does. The decals really keep your eyes away from you. And I just think that it just kind of brings it all together.
That's like Matt being visited by aliens every so often.
What is that? Is that me? Making that noise?
It's like a mic interference you get sometimes. It doesn't stay for very long. I'm just laughing like there's an alien peeking in your window for a second and it's messing with it.
Well, I am Polish, so that's no problem. Yeah, so we're just turning away in a second. I'm hoping to get these decals done. I might get them done tonight, actually. The fin funnels I just sprayed the clear on this afternoon.
Yeah, that display is just super nice. I might have to go find it myself.
Yeah, just the GX Blue from Mr. Color.
Hey Matt, speaking of clear, have you used the super clear version of the GX?
Yeah, that's what I use. Well, I take that back. The clear on this right now is the Plamo clear because I have like 2 bottles of it. I'm just trying to use it up. But if I use a clear, it's the GX clear.
I bought a bottle a couple of days ago. Super Clear 3 is called.
Yep.
I haven't tried it yet, but I've seen pictures online, and it looks almost like clear coat. Really, I mean, it's really slick.
For my experience, the best, I shouldn't say the best, but the clear that sprays the slickest is the Alclad clear.
The Aqua Gloss?
Alclad Gloss. My problem is that it doesn't seem to cure for me. So, and I found this out the hard way when I did my SD Iron Man. I sprayed it. It looked like glass. I was like, oh man, it looks awesome. So I sprayed it, but it's, I let it dry for a day or day and a
It's still
half.
tacky, right?
Huh?
It still feels tacky after a couple of
Tacky
days.
like 2 days later. So I
Yeah.
was putting it together and like, holy shit, it's full of fingerprints. So
Yeah.
at that point, I was either going to throw it away or I was going to try something. So what I did is I put it all together and I sprayed GX Clear over the Alclad and it all melted together. And it just really, really worked out well. So if I want a glass finish, now I'll do the Alclad. I'll wait a day and then I'll put GX on top of it.
Interesting.
It's all a location thing. When I hear horror stories of Gundams, it's like, because I live in this state, here's what I face.
Oh, yeah, I'm in Texas, so during the summer it gets real hot. So
Humidity.
I don't have too much problem with humidity. If in Houston you would, in Dallas it's not too bad.
Mosquitoes you can
I know
buy.
mosquitoes are terrible. I know Jim, being in Florida's probably humid there a lot.
Yeah, but I spray inside in climate control, and I have
You're fancy.
a humidity sensor and everything. Like I make sure my humidity is down
Don't
when
have
I'm
money.
when I'm doing my
Yeah,
clears.
look at this guy.
What's up?
We're just busting your balls, Jim.
Yeah, he's got it's probably like a clean room.
No, I don't go as far as that. But I do spray inside, and I've had the same issue with Aqua, but it's only the gloss, the Aqua, not the Aqua gloss, the regular super gloss, whatever, clear gloss.
And their gloss black never cures for me either. I bought a bunch and it just
What,
never-
Alclad gloss?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't like that outside gloss either. That's never cured for me either.
Yeah,
The-
I stay away from it.
Their flat is awesome though. Their flat cures right away.
the flat's great. It's a little bit thick, so I put a little bit of the airbrush cleaner into it to thin it, and that it helps. Otherwise, you have to kind of hose it on because it's so thick. It doesn't want to come out the airbrush. And then what it does is it tapping a little bit on my 1/60th Zabi. I was putting it on there, and I sprayed it in sub assemblies, and it kind of got a little dusty in areas, so I had to go back and kind of hose over those areas to get it to all blend in.
You gotta get an airbrush just for clear coats, man.
Yeah, no.
Look at this. Airbrush for clear coats, clean room.
Point 0.5 nozzle.
So somebody give me Jim's address. I'll be right back.
I'm gonna fly to Jim's house and do my painting.
Actually, I own 3 airbrushes, and
I've broken 2.
I own 3. One is one airbrush I use 90% of the time, like for everything, for primer, for all the colors. The other one I sometimes use is my workhorse that I sometimes use for primer. This is my oldest airbrush. It's an Iwata Eclipse. That was my first airbrush. And then my third airbrush, I use it only for clear coats, and it has a 0.5 millimeter nozzle, so it's a Y nozzle.
Yeah.
It's really nice because even though the clear coat is thick, it sprays really smooth.
Right.
One of the reasons is because I've had trouble in the past when I use my regular airbrush for clear coats. No matter how clean I clean, no matter how nicely and well clean I clean my airbrush with thinner and whatever, putting ultrasonic cleaner, whatever. I sometimes find specks in my clear coat, especially when I'm putting top coat on parts that are like whites and stuff. I've had that issue with a couple of kits, so I said just screw it. I'm just going to use this airbrush exclusively for clear coats and nothing else. So that's,
you cut down on the in between pretty much, the clean in between, where you can just go, all right, let me do this. Like, you're cleaning your other brush, and now you already have a clean brush ready for the next step.
yeah, but I clean my airbrush, but no matter how much, I don't know, maybe I don't know why, but in the past I've cleaned it, and if I look really close, I say, oh shit, there's like red specks here because last color I sprayed before I put in the clear coat was red. So I don't know. Maybe my methods are not as good as I should.
Hey Clem, I noticed the bar of people is popped up on YouTube. Is that something you turned on, or did I do it accidentally?
What bar of people?
All 6 cams are showing.
All 6 cams should. Well, you have to present someone, so all 6 cams are showing. That's fine. You're supposed to see all 6 cams.
Oh, I put you as presenting, but it didn't load it in yet.
Oh, because YouTube's got a 30-second delay. Is that what you're talking about? The YouTube video?
Yeah, I'm talking about the YouTube video, but alrighty.
There's a 30-second delay.
I'm like counting and I'm trying to match Angel's hands.
Ah.
Oh, there he goes. I see it. All right, Angel. What part are you on that giant monstrosity? What are we at now?
Nightingale.
Yeah.
I am trying to wire it all up with lighting right now. That's pretty much it.
You're actually done with the paint. Wait. Are you saying you're done with the painting, or?
No, I mean there's still some more painting touch-ups here and there, but I'm just getting the lighting done because for me that's.
What's up with your cam, Angel?
Yeah, I'm fixing it.
Oh, you got.
Yeah, I know.
He's on camcorder view.
Are you recording through your VCR or something?
Yeah, I have a cam.
It looks more like those back on the topic of aliens. It's an abduction video. Like there's a timestamp. he's gonna have a time jump. It's gonna say 8:46 in a second.
So yeah, I'm just working on wiring everything up. I've pretty much got it all wired now, so I just gotta work on the battery now.
Is this thing gonna fit in any of your shelves? I mean, honestly, I've seen this clunk. Is it gonna fit anywhere?
No, it'll go probably right next to my other Nightingale.
On top of the shelves?
Nope, next to the Neo Xeon.
Is that the SMS kit, or is that the? Oh, that's the Reborn, isn't it?
Yeah, this one's a Reborn. I've done an SMS one.
Yeah. I have the SMS too. I broke it out the other day and I put it back in the box.
I really like that one.
Yeah, it's pretty good. My casting's a little. It's not the best, but it's okay.
Yeah, but I went ahead and got the Reborn, and I did some changes to it to kind of make it look a little more like the SMS one.
Right. I guess is the nice thing about that kit that it's pretty plain. It's open for modification and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, that's what I tell people is it's a nice kit if you're gonna do some modification to it. I mean,
so you're saying you got to polish that turd really well.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I mean, it doesn't look as good just straight out the box.
No, and to me every kit doesn't look good straight out of the box. It needs something.
Probably plenty of room inside of it.
Angel could probably put his hand in the damn kit and puppeteer the effing thing. This is so friggin' big. Unless I'm mistaking it for another kit. I don't even know anymore.
It's not that big. I'll probably bring it on Saturday.
So you're saying every kit needs at least some panel lining, some scratch building, some detailing. That's what you're saying?
It helps.
Yeah.
Some kits just look too plain. Other kits, they don't really need it.
That's true. Have you seen the? Actually, speaking of that, let me show you guys something. I got this in the mail yesterday, actually. It's the
Yeah, I got one in order.
Scratch Build Revolution book.
What is it? Is there like a sign-up sheet for this, or they just got your address and they're like send it to Jim?
No, I bought it.
You can get it. There's a bunch of places that are selling it. Not Gundam Planet. Is it Gundam Planet? Is it pre-order right now? I've got one on pre-order.
I'm pretty sure page 1 says like get the Plamo stuff. Step 2, just experiment with crap.
No, it's really nice. It has a lot of theory. Like like how you should do layering, like your angle should be greater than 90 degrees, that sort of stuff. It's really
Oh, so it dwells into geometry
it's a really
and
nice book.
the eye illusion kind of thing.
Yeah, it's a really nice book, and at the end there's like a whole whip, like just a ton of pictures.
Hmm.
The whip of this guy's Jesta.
Where did it originate out of? Is it a JP thing or
What do you mean? What's up?
like where's the origin of the book? Is it Japanese
It's,
print or?
I think it's Singapore.
Huh.
My screen black again.
No.
Yeah, it's
Making
Singapore.
sure.
It's published by HobbyMate, so.
I don't even know who that is. I haven't kept up.
It's like the it's like the HLJ of Singapore, basically.
Oh, okay. I was like, does HLJ still exist? I haven't been on that site in years either.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
That
okay.
exists.
Because I still have flashbacks of Rainbow 10, and I'm like, I miss you, Rainbow 10.
Oh,
It's so awesome.
or Mr. Neo, whatever his name was.
I'm probably gonna have a drink now that I remember Rainbow 10. Like, yes, I get to pay less than yen costs and going on it with everybody, and shipping isn't horrible, and then it's gone.
They were awesome, man.
They were great.
That was the pinnacle.
That's why I have so many freaking paints, because I used to buy them in like by the gross.
Packs? Yeah, I remember Clem used to do that. He'd be like, I'm throwing these paints on the order, and it's just like he gets this like 12 pack.
Yeah. I mean, black and white, I'd order 10 at a time. I mean,
Yep. Their ordering system. You remember how funky it was? It was like
Yeah, you gotta give them the serial numbers per day.
It was like a text file.
line item. Yeah. But who cares?
Yeah, it was worth it. That extra work you put in is worth I want to say they were at least 15% off the yen cost. And back then, the yen wasn't. I think the US dollar wasn't that bad when it was still going. So
It was the shipping that was the best.
it was. Yeah, the shipping would get you, but we used to do group orders. So
Not only that, back in those days, like right now, there's like a bunch of stores here in the States. There's like a bunch of other stores overseas. So there's a lot of competition. But I think back in those days, the competition wasn't so big. So the only real like huge store was like Hobby Link Japan. And I remember at that time when Rainbow 10 was operating, Hobby Link Japan, their prices were like the box prices, like the the price that Bandai puts on the like 4,500 yen. That's what LCOJ used to charge, I believe. I think a few years later, and just before Rainbow 10 went out of business, their online shop, because I think they're still operating locally. They introduced their My Price. Remember, I don't know if you guys remember, like My Price or whatever, which basically reduced the price to the same price as Rainbow 10 was offering. So.
okay, HLJ still exists, but this layout kind of hurts my eyes. I don't remember it being this way. It's like white with blue. Could have sworn it used to be like orange, like an off orange tan kind of thing.
Yeah. The cool thing that LJJ has now is that private warehouse thing option that they have. What sucks about them is that a lot of the kits that you see there, they're always either back order or, especially if it's a popular kit. Good luck trying to get it.
Best thing I got off of HLJ, they had a sale on Zaku 2.0s for like $20, and I think like 4 of us bought them just to save shipping.
Yeah, I remember. Do you guys still do that? Because I remember in the Gamera Banray forums, I remember Clem used to take back when it was Rainbow 10. I don't know. Do you guys continue doing that after?
No.
We used to do monthly.
Stopped.
You guys used to do monthly like bulk orders. Like everybody would just say, I want, just send Clem like a list, and I guess you give them the money via PayPal. Clem will make this big order, You guys could save a ton of money on shipping because it was just
Yeah, the shipping was like, oh, 10 of us went in on it. It's like $3 a person. Like, no biggie. No
Yeah.
biggie.
Exactly.
for the days.
So, Jim, what's the progress on your ant butt there? I can see it has like hinges to its back now, like a pop hinge.
Yeah, the little hinges, they're working.
Can you I was gonna say, can you remote set it up so you would just open up like, kind of like like the old what is that car from Back to the Future?
DeLorean.
Oh, the
Yeah, like
DeLorean.
a DeLorean hinge to it, so it just goes.
Press a button here and it will open and close. That would be cool,
Yeah.
actually. If I had the skills and the technology to do it, that would be great. But because here in this you know, back piece on the bottom, there's a ton of space. You can put whatever you want there.
Yeah, it's all the boosters go there, right?
Yeah, no, but there's like a piece that holds the boosters, but between the piece and the round in this part on the top, there's it's just hollow inside. So basically, this whole thing is almost hollow. So if you wanted to put like batteries there, a motor, whatever you wanted, you can easily do it. I think Dave Starshadow, he wanted to light this thing up. So he wanted to put a battery pack in there, but
That's what I'm gonna do whenever that's gonna be my lighting. I have never lit anything. That's gonna be my project for lighting. So I'm gonna light all the switches and stuff.
oh yeah, I don't like this guy, but hey Matt, now that I have you here,
Yeah.
I gotta thank you for basically teaching me how to pin, or at least teaching me how to kind of think creatively when it comes to pinning.
Why's that?
Because I was okay. You see this I guess the shoulder piece, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I was trying to figure out a way to pin it, but I wanted to be a removable pin, so that I can take it apart in case I needed to ship it or whatever, right? Because that's one of the things that you kind of mentioned while watching your videos is that it's good to take this thing apart, right? Be able to take it apart in case you want to ship it or move it around, whatever. Especially if it's a huge kit. I want to show you what I did here.
Okay.
One way that I thought was I can drive a pin. Let me just kind of show you. Camera. Okay. Okay. Let's see. All right. So. Okay, so one way was to just drive a pin through the top, and be able to just take it out, so I can take out the piece.
Right.
But how do I put the pin in, and how do I take it out basically after put it in? So this is what I thought of. This piece you can remove. So there's gonna be a magnet there. I can take it off whenever I want to.
Yep.
So you see what I did?
Yeah, that's awesome.
I basically, I did a countersink, I guess.
Yeah, so you put it in from the top instead of coming in from the side.
Yeah, not only that, I don't know if you can see it, but I'm trying to. There it is. You from the top. Okay.
Yeah, the light needs a second to adjust to show.
It is very cool.
So you see, I can. So you see, I this is a 1/16 of an inch hole. That's a 1/16 of an inch pin.
Yeah.
That's holding this entire thing together.
Yep.
So this thing is going to be bearing a lot of weight.
Yeah.
Because the arm is going to be here, but since there's a pin that's driving all the way down to the bottom, this thing is not going anywhere.
Oh no, man. Yeah.
You can put a pound in there, and it's going to break first before that pin is going to.
So how easy does that pin come out? Is it too tight or is it?
No, it's actually cool. It's not that tight. The advantage is that I can take tweezers. Let's see if I can. I'm trying to adjust here. Let me turn this off. Yeah, there's. So the advantage is I can take a. So what I did basically is, because I thought, okay, if I put a pin there, there's no way I can take it out. Like it's gonna be impossible basically, because it's gonna. I mean, there's no way I can grab it. So how do I grab it? I just drilled a bigger hole around it, right?
Sure.
That way I can put my tweezers in there and just remove the pin, right? So that's pretty much it, basically.
You're way smarter than I am.
Yeah, take the pin out, and then I can just remove the piece.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, because that piece doesn't have a whole lot of room for pinning
There isn't.
on the going into the side.
Oh, and if I put the pin in without the part,
Yeah.
you can see the pin there.
Yeah.
That's basically it. And the beauty of it is that you cannot see that hole because this piece goes over it.
Right.
So thank
All right,
you.
there's
You did not teach me that one, but you did teach me the one how to put this piece there. See this piece, the one that holds the stabilizer?
Yeah.
You drove a pin right through the center. And you can't see it, right?
No, you go all the way through. Yeah.
I thought that was really creative. I mean, it was a really creative way to it's a really creative way to put that pin.
Because you have a lot of counterweight once you get that stabilizer on there. That's a huge piece of resin.
Yeah, it is. Boy, is it huge. I have it here somewhere. Yeah, here it is. So this thing goes here like this.
You're making me want to start working on mine again because it's such a cool design.
It's great, man.
Yeah, it's a really good looking,
So right now, what I've been working on is
magnets. Are you putting tons of magnets in? No.
kinda. No, not really a ton. I'm not going magnet crazy like David.
Star Shadow?
No, David's just insane. But let's see if I can put this here. Okay. All right. Okay. So what I'm doing is
to answer your question about overcoming like resin fear, you gotta kind of jump in, man. You gotta do it. Like you're not gonna. There's no like advice we can give you except you gotta try. Like you might fail, but you know what? After a few attempts, you'll get it. It's not a big deal. You can patch up errors.
You can always redeem it.
I had resin fear, and Matt was the one that kind of threw me. He basically pushed me into the pool. You know, I was afraid to jump in. The water's too cold. Matt just went in there and just pushed me like, I challenge you to build off or whatever. And I say, sure, let's do it. So yeah, it's just do it, man. Just do it. Watch tutorials. Watch Matt's tutorials. Go to Clem's Gamera Banray website. There's a bunch of tutorials there on resin and stuff, and just do it, man.
That Sazabi conversion that I made was my first resin project.
I'm having a ton of fun with this kit. It's taking me a long time because this is my first resin kit. I'm being extra careful. I'm just doing a lot of reading, just studying a lot how to do things. So I'm taking my time trying to get things right, trying to get the basics right. But it's been a ton of fun. It has not been I haven't been very productive just because resin just takes a long time, just fixing issues and stuff like that. But that's all part of the fun. So here's what I'm doing, Matt. So you've seen this detail, right? I improved some of the detail.
Right.
I put some magnets here so I can put this armor there.
Yep.
Right, and I can remove it, expose the detail if I want to.
Yep.
And also there's magnets. There's also magnets here.
Yeah.
So I can also put this piece here.
Yep.
And there you go.
Very cool.
Yeah. It's been fun. It's been fun. I'm hoping to get this thing done sometime this year.
Well, Terry, what's Clem doing right now?
All right, Clem, which kit is this, and what stage are we? What stage of painting have you got up to so far?
So you remember my G3 Corolla that I used for a lot of my
Your comedy shots and scale references?
I took it apart and matched it with some other kit or another kit, and basically the last time we were doing this broadcast, I did kind of a bust kit of that Gundam shoving two speed sabers into his eyes. I'm painting that kit. So right now, what I'm doing is I'm just pre-shading. So I painted a pre-shade color of very dark blue. And I'm going over this with a kind of a white, I guess.
So you're doing the white over blue shading,
so
pretty much.
Yeah, I'm painting the center areas right now, just focusing on getting that nice or shade. So once I get that done, you'll see after I do this. I'm focusing on just the center areas. So now you can see that this is kind of very, very heavily shaded, and I don't particularly like a heavily shaded kit. So what I do now is spray from a little bit of a distance, and I start blending everything together. And this is usually a heavier coat, and as I do this, all the light areas continue to lighten up. The dark areas get a little lightened up, and I get a nice light shading effect that I prefer. And this is all personal preference. So that's pretty much it right there.
Yeah. To people out there, if you want your white to sit right, you're going to want to try to do this, at least attempt it, because white is very... What's the word I'm looking for? White's hard to just apply as just white. You need something for it to sit on, or it's just not going to take well.
It's a pigment heavy color.
Oh yeah, it's like red. If you ever reds are ever the worst.
So what I do for a red like that is I will do the same thing here. I would paint this and leave it as that kind of thickly shaded effect using white over a dark color, and then I'll go over this with the red lightly over everything, and that white kind of brings out that red, and you get some of the subtle tones of the red. I'm going to do later on when I get to some of the red parts.
That's how I did my 160 Suzabi. I did a base coat of black, did the highlighting with white, and then I went over with red, 3 wet coats of red, and it looked perfect. It was awesome. It looked good.
Well, ask Mike what he's doing.
What?
All right, Mike, where are we on this diorama? It looks like you're doing the final splooch touch-up kind of thing.
I'm just about done. I mean, I'm sure I'm going to do little final touches here and there, but
all your lighting's good?
Yeah, I'm going to turn them on here in a second. I got to glue this tank down. I was just getting all the building debris done around this building before I can set him in there. So this is where he's going to go.
Mike, are those you can still pose those Zaku's, right? Are they stuck in a position right now?
Their feet, and like the one that's in the back here, the knees and stuff, those are glued down only to keep them in a fixed pose there. But the arms and the torsos are all adjustable.
Okay, what I mean to ask is that one in the back, is he kneeling on one knee?
Yeah, he's kind of in a crouch.
I'm just trying to gauge the level of the building in that body, because with my Zaku sniper, that's probably what I'm going to do, but I'm going to brace the gun on a building. So that's why I'm trying to...
You can kind of see it right there.
Okay. So maybe if I just prop it up a little more, I can probably use a building about your scale to prop the gun barrel on it.
It's a 3-story N-scale building, and his head is just about to the roof height. If I tilt it, you can see where the top of his head sits. It's just under the height.
All right.
Like a 2-story, you see the RX-78 in front. He's well over the top of the building. There.
All right. Yeah, I might have to use a 2-story then or something just to level it off. I'm just taking notes, you know. I got to keep pushing myself to do this, or it's not gonna get done. So
I had thought about having them laying over the building, using the building as cover, but also laying kind of the upper body over the top of it in a shooting position. I thought about something like that, but I just didn't have the space to do it with what I started with. I mean, like I said, 12 by 12 seemed pretty big to me until I started putting things on it, and I ran out of space really fast. So, but I think I've done a pretty good job with what I got. So anyway, I'm just going to glue this guy down, and then if I get him in position, I'll turn the lights on. I don't know how well you'll be able to see him on camera, but.
So is the 12 by 12 a DWC thing? Is that their maximum size?
No, I just chose that size. There's no size restriction to the entry. You're talking about for the theme category?
Yeah, for the show, we didn't really have a size limit. Yeah, I'm slightly paranoid of seeing like a 24 by, you know, like something absurd. Like, how's that gonna fit on a table? But I'm hoping people stay within, you know, a common sense of 12. You know, maybe 2 feet.
Oh, go big or go home.
Oh yeah, because this is for your event. I was thinking it's for the Gundam Builders World.
Well, yeah, it's going to be for both, but I initially started this with the intent of doing it for our theme, but it kind of evolved into a World Cup entry at that point.
Gotcha.
I told you, Clem, I want to do that 144 scale, that hangar over there in Irvine, right?
Yes.
Yeah, there is a guy, a friend of mine, who is doing a airport. I'm not sure how big his board is. I think it's 16 by, it might be 16 by 24. I'm not certain on that.
That's big.
But yeah, he's got hangars. He's got a control tower, real grade sky gasper, a couple of real grade Zakus, I think. Haven't seen any pictures lately of it, so I'm not exactly sure what he's added to it at this point. I'll get this seated in position here. Make sure it's stuck. Let's do this real quick.
I'll be right back, guys. I'm gonna switch it to Clem really quick because I have to feed the corgi.
Feed the corgi?
Feed the dog. Feed it. Feed the dog.
Feeding your dog is overrated.
Hey Matt, can you please send me the link to the G Systems conversion kit for the kit that you're working on?
Yes. Give me a second.
Because the one you posted is for the GPO2.
It'd be interesting to try to talk while I'm doing this, but this shouldn't be too difficult to do. Now, what I like to do when I'm spraying that that lead layer, I like to pull up a piece that's already been painted to do a comparison to make sure the shade's not completely off. slow buildup of color. That looks decent. Once it dries, the tone changes slightly too, so that's one of those things you have to keep in mind. That's one of those reasons why when I paint arm pieces or like leg pieces, I'll put them on the frame and paint it as a whole piece. This way I lower the possibility that neighboring pieces have different tones. Let's watch Mike work on this thing.
I just put all the lights on here, so
Too bright. Turn it down.
see if I can
It's powering the whole room.
bring it up. Well, it's gonna be. I don't know if it's gonna be good on camera, but try to show you. There's one in the head, RX-78, and then the doorway there. There's one flickering underneath the doorway,
It shows up.
and then we pan around to the front. There's two.
Mike, turn off your work light.
All right. Gotta turn everything off in here.
Well,
It's gonna get real dark.
He's got to set the mood.
It looks overexposed.
There, we'll turn that one off. There, is that better?
nope. Turn off all your lights.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna watch him drop it.
Oh God, no!
Don't do that.
Don't say that. Don't even say that.
You jinxed it, man.
Turn that off. All right.
Yeah, the
there
camera
you
will
go.
compensate. So yeah, that really shows it off.
All right. So yeah, you got the RX-78 in front, and then there's down Zaku there, two flicker LEDs in that building.
Pull it slightly away from the camera so that it's more. Yeah, so the light adjustment of the camera will work better. Yeah, we'll see everything better that way.
I'm gonna rotate it around here without dropping it. I still have my TV on, so that's the light you see there. A little bit of light anyway.
It's like your model kit is powering your TV.
Yeah, it might be. So there you go. There's the Zaku in the back. He's still alive. Oops. Get a better grip there. There we go. That's pretty bright in the dark. Lights up the back of that
Yeah.
tent nicely.
We might have to make something just so you can show the lights. And well, I haven't been to the new venue yet, but it's probably too bright to see it unless you're looking right at it.
When you get up close to it, it's a little bit better than looking at it on camera. So
Yeah, and you can
definitely
see
it
you can
better
see them
from
flickering. And there's pieces of broken glass in every window of these buildings, and those lights kind of light up those glass pieces nicely. So even if you didn't know there was necessarily a light there, you'd see it flickering off the shards of glass that I put in each window. But I'm going to take some more pictures of this, and then I'll post better pictures. I took a video, but it's kind of hard to take video with your phone, and it doesn't come out very clear. So, or at least it doesn't upload very clear. I'll take better pictures and you'll be able to see it in more details. Yeah, that one's lighting up pretty good. That one in front has two of those flicker LEDs in it. All right, you all happy with that? Can I turn my lights on now?
Yeah, go ahead, Mike.
Oh, then we have to see you.
Yeah, no, you don't. Just my hands. Boom.
George, I see you trying to talk, but I don't hear you, so you might have to adjust the level.
What's up, George? As I scream into the mic.
Is that Caswell we're talking about?
No. George Caswell in the chat, but not.
Oh, never mind that.
Caswell's on the chat?
No, he's mistaken.
No, I was talking on. I thought that's who we were talking about.
Hi, George. I can see you wave. Only us in the chat can see it.
Yeah, so this was pretty much since November 19th is when I started this last year. 5 days after our event, when we discussed what the next theme was going to be, that's when I started building this. So it's gone from
A thought to the complete product.
oh yeah, model train buildings and 3 real grade kits, plus 1 ground war set. That's where I got the tank from. A couple of 144 scale cars, a bunch of photo etch stuff for these buildings, and
Looks like Tim joined us.
Clem's gonna laugh. He always makes fun of me because of how much money I've put into this project already. But that's all right. I lost count. That's okay.
You go kind of balls out a lot of the time, Mike, but
Well,
I think I
this
just
is-
have to have you around to force me to build.
This is the first diorama I've ever done, so I'm pretty happy with it. I think the end result's gonna pay off. Hopefully.
What's up today?
What up?
Is anybody asking any questions on the feed or anything?
Not really.
Nope.
Just watching.
Tim,
Somebody's afraid.
how did you set it up that you're that you have like your little like this is me from Child of Mecha like sub bar thing?
It's an add-on
Oh, okay.
that you have to download. It's what is it?
Door third is called.
The Hangout Toolbox.
All right.
Yeah. If you go off to
probably
the,
looking at implementing that later.
yeah, it's pretty cool. If you go off to the left side, that little pop-up bar comes up. You can download it from there. It's pretty handy.
I was like, so the person that has their camera on is the one that pretty much assigns what it says, right? So I can't mess around and change people's titles.
Yeah, it's user dependent.
All right.
So yeah, you can't. It's like you can't change mine to like King of all douchebags or anything like that.
Tim, I'm not gonna, you said it, not me. I'm not gonna say.
Yeah, the shoe fits.
Oh yeah. I openly admit it. It's all good.
It looks like you have a murder scene at your desk, Tim.
What's that?
It looks like an XS blew up on your table there.
Yeah, like, are you trying to form Voltron there? I see like 3 bits or 4 bits, and then just scattered pieces.
Yeah, it looks like XS parts. EXS Gundam.
So here's 2, and then here's 2 more. Shoulders
Wait,
for the
You
hummingbird.
need to now. You need to form the head.
Yeah. Here's the legs for the hummingbird. So
Jeez.
she's coming along.
It looks like those 2 pieces on the bottom are trying to give each other high fives. Like, yeah, we exist. Go for gold.
Does kind of look like that.
So, someone in chat's asking, can we discuss the basics of scrap building? Tim, you got pretty much a murder scene on your table. You wanna go over that?
Yeah, I'll take that one. Scrap building or scratch building?
I think it's probably scratch building.
He probably means scratch building. He put
Yeah.
scrap building, but it's
Well, I
probably
mean,
Well, look at his desk. There's a lot of scrap there.
It kind of implied, doesn't it?
technically there is both. I mean, you can build from scraps of pieces, you know. I mean, like, for instance, you know, you could take this leg off of a, you know, master grade GPO1 and do some crazy shit with it, or you can just build, you know, straight up from plastic sheet. You know, what I do is think about the shape that I want to try to achieve, and then I draw it in Adobe Illustrator so I can get all the shapes and everything, the profiles and all that, and I set it to true scale, print it out, and see if I'm happy with it. So I mean, once I decide on a final design, then I go about actually forming the piece. Let's see. So for this piece right here, this is just a booster for the hummingbird that I scratch built. What I did was I designed the profile first, cut that out, and then started laying the top and bottom and everything on top of that. Once I got that pretty much where I wanted it to, sanded it, made the top pieces flush, and then just started going about detailing panel lines, little bits here and there. It's really just up to your imagination, to be quite honest with you.
So the important part is to plan.
Yeah, planning is everything. I mean, you have to know what your end product's going to be, or else, you're not going to end up with anything.
Yeah, I did quite a few drawings on paper first with this diorama too, and then I actually, before I started building the base, I just taped out a 12 by 12 on my cutting mat, so then I could see what my boundaries were and just started placing things in different places on there, and then finally came up with a footprint of what I wanted.
Yeah, I mean that's basically the way to go. Here's what I basically started with. This is an image from the Zeta Master Archive book by Model Graphics, and I really dug this whole kind of shape, so I wanted to emulate it. So I basically sketched out the measurements, what I thought it was going to be, and everything, and then like I said, just planned it out in Illustrator, and as you can see, pretty damn close. It's not an exact match. I didn't want it an exact. I wanted it to be a little bit more sharp, a little bit more aggressive looking, and came out pretty good. So now, obviously, to duplicate the piece, since there's two, I had to go about molding and resin casting, and then here's the final resin cast piece here. And you can see, I mean, it has a little bit more detail on it. Some bits of styrene and stuff like that here and there. I put in polycap to add on to the back of the hummingbird and everything. So yeah, I mean, it's all in what you want to try and achieve, and it's really all about your imagination and how you can formulate making these things. So it's not magic.
But it's not that hard either.
It can be. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it can be pretty hard. I mean, that piece, was pretty simplistic. I mean, it just had right angles and stuff on it. But I mean, when you start getting into curves and compound angles, then it could be, yeah, I mean, you got to do the math and you got to calculate your angles and measurements and everything.
So what I mean is you take it down to, atomic steps. It's not that difficult to slowly do it.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's just building the forms, And it's, there's no special tools that you need or, anything like that. I mean, hell, I just made that pretty much with, just like I said, plastic sheet, a hobby knife, and used some chisels for the panel lines and details and stuff. But hell, I mean, you can do that with a old blunted hobby knife. So yeah, I mean, there's nothing really, like I said, there's nothing really magical about it. It's just, like Clem said, simple steps. Just do it.
It goes back to somebody's asking us that he has resins, but he's too scared to do any. You can't make any steps forward without trying. Like you mess up, you come back.
Please just trolling us. Screw
Nice
me.
correction.
Make mistakes, right?
Yeah, you throw out an F-bomb and you realize halfway out that the F-bomb's already out, so just go back.
I think why people are scared of resin is because, especially if you build Gundams, we're so spoiled because they're snapped together, and the building part is so simple, you know. So I kind of I get some of these guys that buy these third-party kits like Elon Kshatriya and stuff like that, and they bitch because it doesn't go together like a Bandai kit. Well, no, you actually have to do some modeling on those kits. It's not, those are geared towards modelers, not snappers. So resin is the same way. If you're looking at it to do something quick, and sit down and have it done in a couple hours, it's not for you.
You just got the Elon Kshatriya too, right, Matt?
Yeah, I got it last year.
Yeah, I finished mine a while ago, but that was one of those things.
I started on a little bit. You built it. It's an undertaking. I mean, it took me 3 hours to put an arm together.
It's a pain in the ass. It really is. It's a love-hate relationship.
It's one of those things where it's going to be a pain. It's going to be like building resin. There's fitting issues. You got to adjust and stuff. But in the end, it builds a beautiful product. So as long as you're able to put the time in,
just be happy you're not working with like 50 millimeter resin kits. Like I work on some of those, and I'm like, what am I doing to myself? Like these will snap. Like and the arm is like slightly bigger than 2 toothpicks.
Yeah, I think the thing with resin is, you have to have a completely different mindset when working with it.
Yep.
I mean, it's a totally different beast. Like Matt said, I mean, it's definitely not your Bandai snap-together kit, but, once you wrap your head around it, it's not that difficult, really.
No, it's not hard. It's all about how much time are you willing to put into something.
Yeah.
So,
it's all about craftsmanship, really.
If you expect to sit down with a pile of plot plate and in 3 hours have a scratch-built suit, you're not approaching it correctly.
Yeah. And you're joking yourself, too.
Yeah. You're going to be disappointed. You're going to want to kill yourself because it's like not going fast enough. It's not. I mean, I tell you what, man. I've only been actively building since 2008. I found Clem's site kind of on accident, and that's what kind of got me back into building models in general.
I'm sorry. You found Clem's site?
It was very helpful. I mean, these tutorials were...
That's right, Tim. Suck it.
Hey, man. Well, my site wasn't around, so, second best, whatever.
Yeah, I mean,
So what you did.
I think I trolled forum for about a year before I attempted to build anything. I've built models in the past.
I've literally just trolled in Clem's forums for years, and I built like 3 kits over the last 7 years, maybe. No, all right, maybe 5 kits over the last 7 years.
Matt, what's the scale on that new that you're building there?
The 1/72.
Cool.
Yeah.
And it uses the 1/60th scale frame?
Yeah. Go figure.
Interesting.
It probably doesn't use the feet then. It stops and keeps going.
It uses the internals of the feet, but the whole outside's resin. The foot's actually a really simple piece. It's only 4 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a little bit of the interior. So I don't know if you can see that. I'm going to get some better light on it. There you go. It's pretty simple. All sorts of detail on the bottom. I just panel lined it. I didn't paint anything. I didn't go crazy with masking on the bottom of the foot. I just lined it. But so we'll see if I can panel line these fin funnels and see if the clear coat's dry enough. It's been drying for about 8 hours. It should be good. It'll real quick if it doesn't come off.
Trial and error. Trial and error.
Yeah. Lots of errors for sure.
Hey guys, you guys mentioned, or somebody mentioned scrap building. Some pictures of scrap building. You guys want to see it?
I switched over to you, Jim. But you got to get that robot out of your room.
What do you guys see? Do you guys see the screen? Wait, hold on.
You got the wrong camera up there. I'm looking at your
No.
arm.
Yeah, I'm looking at the gun show.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you're talking about actual screen. Yeah.
Oh yeah, nice.
You guys see it?
Yeah.
Yep.
This is real scrap building. I wonder how many kits this guy has in his scrap bin.
Good God.
There's got to be a ton there.
I was like, let's play identify the piece, and I'm like, that's not. I can't.
You know, this particular piece, I find it funny that it's a skull, and the
Oh wait, there were fin funnels.
yeah, and the like the teeth are the peacock smasher from a crossbone,
Yeah.
and it has the nose or whatever the little piece is. This little piece right here, it's also a crossbone piece. So I thought that was kind of funny.
Aren't those the shoulder fins from the crossbone?
Yeah, and I think I think this the nose is also part of the crossbone legs. I think.
Yeah. It looks like the front of the legs, and then the bridge looks like maybe a ankle armor or a foot armor or something.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's at least one high new, one crossbone. I think that's a strike knee for the eyebrows of the skeleton. Well, the eyebrow, you know, that area.
Well, the eyes and the sides of the head are the hover tank hard graph.
So this kit costs more than it should. This scrap build.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, really.
All right.
It's a beautiful piece, though.
Yeah. That's part of our little presentation for this Saturday's Gunpla talk.
Clem with his shading. So now you're on the torso. Wait, what color scheme are you doing for this? Are you going with the basic color scheme, or just your own?
The basic Gundam colors. RX-72. So these are just just the shading, so I can get the. They don't have that good colors.
So you still doing minor wiring there, Angel? Like I can barely tell.
Yeah, I'm just trying to make a battery pack.
Where are you gonna put that thing?
Back fuel tank. Under the butt.
So did you drill out the fuel tank and you jamming it in the fuel tank?
I cut it open.
Oh.
Angel,
Alright.
what power supply are you using to light up that Nightingale?
3 volts.
I swear, one day, one of us Gundam builders is going to cause like a small nuclear fire from the amount of LEDs and stuff people put in.
It's CR 2025.
How many LEDs are on that Nightingale?
On the Nightingale, I have about 30
Yeah.
something.
30?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about right. So you're using 8 3-volt button.
Yeah.
Hmm. That's cool. I would think so many LEDs. You need to actually have like a, like you plug it in a 5-volt power supply or something like that.
Well, that Cassatria, the Elin has 35.
That's the one you had to rewire, right?
It's in
Because
the
it's
middle.
like
Well,
garbagey.
because the wiring is so flimsy and cheap. I fixed it.
Hey, Mike, that Cassatria, that's powered by like a rechargeable battery, right?
Yeah, it's in the tail skirt.
How long does it last? Like when you fully charge it? Uh,
It was about 2 hours.
that's not too bad though.
I actually put a charger on it to keep it running longer. Yeah, I found out the hard way. It ran out about 2 hours, I think.
That's not too bad. I was expecting worse. I was expecting like 15 minutes or something like that.
Yeah, there's a lot. They're all 3mm LEDs on them.
They're tiny.
Yeah.
They're all 3mm. I mean, I've got smaller ones in this diorama. I got a 1.6 in the head of the RX-78. The white flicker LEDs inside the building are 5mm, but then there's one on the loading dock that's a 3. And the one in the head of the other Zaku, that's a flat-based LED, a 3mm LED. Flat-based ones, I'll show you what they look like. I don't know if it's kind of hard to see. You know what a standard LED is, like a rounded dome, right?
Yep.
But the ones I used for these, they're flat on the front. If I can get one out here. So that's a flat. Oh, see that? Switch over. Right about there. Kind of see it doesn't have a dome on the top. It's just flat. And it's kind of nice too because it also gives a different look to it. When it lights up, it almost looks like a camera because there's a brighter dot in the center and then a ring around it just by the shape of the way it's being flat in front. It's kind of a concave, concave flat LED, I guess is the way to describe it. So I bought several colors of those. So yeah, I've got 1, 2, 3, 6 LEDs in this kit or this diorama. All running on 3 volt battery. So right now I'm just putting some more brick on the ground. Some of it got covered up when I did the debris around the perimeter, so I'm just adding some more pieces on the ground where building damage would be. There would be some brick. And then I'll glue that down and cover it.
So we have 2 questions here. Someone asked, outside of basic clippers, hobby knife, airbrush, etc., what tools do you guys use, and what do you think is a must-have?
Sandpaper.
Pin vise.
Yeah,
one.
pin vise, definitely.
Pin vise, yeah, if you're going to do resin pin vise.
Pin vise.
Sorry, Jim, I just switched over to you. So
Metal ruler is a definite.
Metal ruler is a good one. This small one right here. I have it somewhere. Where is it? I can never find shit here. Metal ruler.
well, people should know what a metal ruler looks like. It's a ruler, and then just make it metal.
But I'm talking about there's one.
George just showed a caliper, which is a tool that I like to use a lot too.
Yeah.
Like this one here,
Calipers.
digital.
Calipers.
I have a digital one here.
Yeah, I got that same exact one. Is that Harbor Freight?
Yep.
Yep.
Made in China, baby.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, it does the job though. If you're trying to, especially when you're drilling, if you're trying to drill holes, you need a precise diameter or something like that. You want to measure something inside, outside diameter kind of thing.
Yeah. Hey, Terry, switch to me real quick, buddy.
Don't do it.
It's a
There we
trap.
So, no, so metal rulers. You got your standard one
That's the
right
one.
here. This one actually has millimeter holes on it, so that's pretty nice. You got your metal triangle. This is by a company called Zona. You can get this on Amazon. It's like $3 or $4. You got another one by Zona. This is just a little L square. This is nice to have. Again, $3 or $4. And this one is actually by Wave. This is a little T square. This is actually really nice if you want to get really square lines, especially like parallel lines and stuff like that, because it has a ruler in both directions, this way and this way. So that's nice. You can get that off of like HobbyLink or Hobby Search or whatever. But those are the metal rulers that I use personally, and I use them all. So those are definites.
Today's show may or may not be brought to you by Zona.
Yeah, well, might as well.
Anyone have hobby saws? I mean, what are your thoughts on hobby saws?
Oh, hobby saw, yeah.
Hey, switch to me for a sec.
Waiting for attention.
All
20
right.
bucks, Jim.
Hobby saws, like these,
Yeah.
right? These are hobby saws. Very useful to cut styrene. A scriber, right? This one's made by Tamiya. This is just typical Tamiya scriber.
You know what the best scribing tool is? The back of your X-Acto blade.
Yeah. The best scribing tool actually are these, to be honest. Chisels.
Oh yeah, I have some. I haven't cut them yet.
Those are expensive though.
Yeah, yeah, they're expensive, but
But they're well worth it.
to be honest, it's like the best tool I've ever had, I think.
But you guys
I
are
mean,
going
they're
on,
awesome.
you guys are going beyond basic tools.
Yeah, you guys are going pro tools here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna
Basic
tell you
tool-
nobody's gonna use chisels in the beginning.
Yeah.
No, this is a basic tool right here. It's a prying tool. Just look on eBay, classic pry. They're really cheap. You can get like
They
one
used
for
to give them out in one of the hobby magazines. Sometimes when you bought a kit, they'd give you the gunpla remover type, looking
Yeah.
like a. I forget what it looks like. It looks like a wedge.
Bandai brand. We used to get one that was.
I
actually made by
have
Bandai.
2 of those.
You switch to me, I'll show you my building kit. This is what I use 90% of the time for everything.
Switch to that.
I was like, that marker's got to be there for resins where you're drawing down the seam that you want to get rid of.
Yeah, so this is my building kit. This is what I use for 90% of everything. So I've got little screwdrivers because some of those Bandai kits have screws in them. These are I don't use these too often because it's soft and I don't like it. So I make my own cleaning sticks with popsicle sticks and 400 bit sandpaper. I make about 100 at a time and they last me a very long time. And just because I'm an idiot, I own about 10 X-Acto knives, so I keep misplacing them or I throw them in a kit box, so I have about 10 of those. A little set of diamond files is really handy. Not necessarily for plastic kits. If you want to get rid of a nub really quick, a diamond file is nice, but then you have to go back over several times with sandpaper. I have different nippers. I just bought a set of sharp point Tamiya nippers, which was well worth the $35. I bought those a long time ago. But I've been using this.
I'll you a nipper. That's what he said.
Yeah, I was using the Zona ones forever, and they do a fine job. And then the marker, yeah, that's the resin, the marking schemes and stuff. But this is like goes with whenever I'm building a kit. The only other tool that I use besides this for resin would be a thin vise. So right there's my resin building kit. Take it out, plastic, resin, plastic, back and forth. So that's what I use. You can probably buy all this for around with the exception of these
The
nippers.
most effective is probably the nip.
So that's what I use. Oh, and another really good thing, which I highly recommend, is get yourself some 3M sanding sponges.
Oh, yeah.
I use the fine, super fine, and microfine. And if I'm being lazy and I don't want to prime a kit, I'll go over with a super fine or a microfine, and I'll just spray paint right on top of the plastic. At least it has something to bite into, some tooth. But it's also good for just basic. I sand all my kits anyway, all the plastic anyway, so it's good for that. And you can get those. I buy them by the box. It's cheaper by the box. So that's what I use.
You can get them pretty much at Home Depots. They used to have a few different colors, but I think they're down to maybe one. I haven't been there in a long time for that kind of stuff.
I don't buy the ones from Home Depot because they don't tell you what grit they are.
The grits are very coarse at Home Depot, to be honest. I find them better at auto, like the auto stores, whatever.
Like this, microfine.
Yep.
If you go to their website, microfine is equivalent to about 1,000 grit. Ultrafine is the equivalent to about 800. Superfine, they say this anywhere from 600 to 500 grit sandpaper. So you go to the website, they'll tell you what the grit is, instead of just coarse, medium, whatever. Because if you're not going to prime, and I recommend priming, I'm not saying don't prime. You want nothing lower than a 400 grit scratch in your paint. 600 would be better, otherwise they'll show up. So.
Always prime.
What's that?
Always prime.
Yeah, I know.
Don't even give them an option, Matt. Seriously. If you know for damn sure somebody's gonna be like, oh man, Matt Mrozic said I didn't have to prime. Sweet, he's a pro.
Yeah.
I don't have to prime.
You know what? I tell you what. I get burned whenever I don't. I get burned. I tell you that for sure.
Yep. Don't even give them an option, man.
Every time. It's worth the extra hour or two spraying.
Oh yeah.
And priming's not even the worst stage, so it's not. It shouldn't be a big deal.
The only reason I when I first didn't prime was I was just trying to keep my paint layers to a minimum.
That's what I do when I for inner frames. I sometimes skip priming on some parts of the inner frame, like joints, because I know if I prime the joints will make super tight.
Yeah, but when you're airbrushing, the layers of paint are very thin anyways.
Can still build up.
It builds up pretty quick. I mean, I don't know.
George, I hear George.
Yeah, I messed with it. Got some audio going, I guess.
Cool. Welcome to the show, George.
Hey, thanks.
Georgie.
George, you actually working on something?
As a matter of fact, I'm working on the minigun for my Lanos.
Uh-oh.
And that's going to be real hard to see because it's about 2 centimeters long. So, and it's all white, so it's not going to show up on camera at all. But I'm working on it.
So we're kind of how many guys do we have here?
It probably got caught up in the jumble of that, but somebody asked how they avoid clear coat frosting. Whoever wants to take that.
There's a few issues. Depends on what type of clear coat you're using to begin with. If you're using Future with flattened material in it, like to me a flat base, you're putting too much flat base in. That's one thing.
Yep.
If there's too much humidity in the air, that will cause it also. If there's not enough, if it's not thinned enough, that could cause frosting. So it's basically you have to be it's thinning ratios and humidity. Temperature is really not an issue. It'll just dry faster, or it won't slick out as much. But you have to watch your thinning and your humidity. Those are the two big factors. So if it's you know, I spray when it's raining. But if I can feel humidity in the air, I won't paint. You know what I'm saying? Because it can rain, but it doesn't feel sticky. But if your skin like feels sticky, because I spray in my garage. I don't spray inside. So weather affects me a little bit more. Jim, he's in a hermetically sealed room. He's good to go. So he doesn't have to worry about it. But if I feel any stickiness in the air, I don't spray clear coat. I'll spray paint, but I won't spray clear coat. Anyone else? Ideas, suggestions?
Yeah, usually if you're spraying like clears out of a spray can, you might get some frosting if you're spraying too much of the stuff on there. What you want to do is you want to do light mist and build it up slowly if you're using a spray can. And with the flat, you want to use a very light mist anyways and build that up very slowly.
Yeah, I mean, the only other thing that I had, going back to what Matt said, was the future and flat combination. Man, I used to swear by that combination, but after about 7 years, I can see some of my old models turning a little bit yellow. So it may have been a bad batch. I don't know. I can't confirm whether it was or not, but me personally, I'll never use Future ever again. That's just me.
Yeah, I felt like it didn't really mix that well with the Tamiya products, not as well as it was reputed to.
I'll tell people out there, Future is the reason that I shotgunned 160 Exia in the Arizona desert, because yeah.
Some people swear by it, and I mean Michael Fichtenmeyer, he swears by it. He's been using it for years. So
I used to use Future a lot too, but I just don't like the slow cure time.
yes,
I prefer the lacquer super clears that I use.
yeah, the GF Super Clear is awesome.
And if you use a lacquer, I mean, you can't beat the toughness of it either, so that's another positive.
Mike, it takes a steady hand. Don't touch the sides.
Operation!
Yeah, I'm just applying some the scenic glue here in small areas. That way I don't have to saturate an entire area. Just using my my model. It's like a sculpting tool as a spoon, just kind of dipping it onto the brick pieces here that I'm gluing down, just a little at a time. And if I do end up getting a little too much, I just use a Q-tip and soak it up a little bit so it goes away. So I noticed that if you use too much of this in an area on a flat surface, you will see it dry. Even though it dries flat, you'll have a raised area where the glue is dried. It won't completely dry flat because it's too much in one spot. So
That's one tool nobody brought up. You're gonna have to have a little bit of patience for some of this stuff. If you overlook something, you'll notice it later.
yeah, when you're just patient, it's tough sometimes because you want to finish the project and get on to the next one or something.
You get that tunnel vision where it's like, I'm at the end, I'm done, I'm just done.
Yeah, and it's easy to get impatient. You want to just blast through it. But, then, of course, you'll end up with a blemish or something that you'll know it's there and it's too visible. So I've just added some more of this brick, let it dry, and then I can color it. Since my buildings are a tan color, I made some of the brick, I painted some of these brick pieces with that tan color on it, so it looks like dried. It looks like the paint. There's some right here.
Caterly, I don't understand your question that you you're addressing Angel. Series or parallel? What I don't know what that even means.
LED.
Circuit
Wiring
board.
LED.
Yeah, I think parallel.
It has to do with the way they're wired together.
Yeah, it's all they don't. I think it's parallel. I don't even remember the name of it is. I know how.
If they're in series, each light will divide the supply voltage up by how many lights you have in the circuit. If they're in parallel, they'll each individually use the supply voltage separately, so you won't have any dimming or anything like that. Depends. We just, Clem and I were talking about this earlier before we went live because we have different LEDs in this that require different voltages. So even though I wired them in parallel, one LED was taking up more power than the rest of them, so one of them didn't even light at all. So I had to redo the circuit in order for each light to light up the way I wanted it to.
Oh, Mike, you let the secret out. We talked to each other outside of this video podcast.
Yeah. Sorry.
Catterley needs to get up off his ass and get on here, for real.
Who's that?
Catterley.
Oh.
Yeah, he knows what I'm talking about.
Chris is dealing with the schoolwork, so.
Schoolwork my ass. He can watch on YouTube, can he?
Well, you don't have to be working on anything. You can just,
I could be working on something, but I forgot where I put my kit, so I'm not gonna look.
Right next to that video game you were playing earlier.
I told you I was gonna stop playing, so I did.
Oh, hey guys, real quick. So, new resource for like modding and scratch building stuff that I found the other day. My daughter was bugging me about Lego pieces and stuff, so we went on to the Lego website, and you can buy like individual pieces on there. And so I found like these domes, and they come obviously in a bunch of different colors and sizes and everything. Like here's really big ones.
That's the old satellites, I think, from the space kits.
Yeah. So I got a bunch of them, right? So the thing is, I'm looking at the tall piece shield that I have, and I don't know if it, yeah. So the size is pretty close. These are like 64 millimeters in diameter, and obviously this is a little bit smaller. But man, for modifying domes or creating like an EWAC unit or shields and stuff like that, these were cheap. These were like 59 cents a piece. And as you can see, I just started, kind of scribing a line in it and just, dicking around. But yeah, cool little piece.
You gonna sand the connection pieces off it?
Oh yeah, you take a Dremel to that and they'll come right off. So the only downside is it's ABS. That's my only complaint. But I think what I'll probably do is mold these anyways. So it's not a huge deal. Just super glue the pieces that I want to on it and just save it as a master and make molds out of it. So, but
it's good news for people like me and Angel and Mike and Clem, where it's like, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go to Lego store. So, Mike, after you finish the diorama, what's next on your chopping block? Any idea?
God, my wife's been bugging me to do one of hers, so I'll probably have to do the Sanzumi Burka. Or I said my wife's been bugging me to do one for her, one of hers that I bought for her, so I'll have to do probably the Sazabi Burka. But I think this tank here doesn't belong on there. So.
What are you talking about? The tank's doing tricks. It's fine.
Yeah, and he's pointing right at it. Either that or the Ainu Burka, which I got the heavy weapons
That's one kid I almost jumped at, but
Here,
come on.
there it is.
What the hell is that?
That's the heavy weapon set for it.
Can that thing even stand up?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this comes with an entirely new set of decals. And another.
Are they still doing the water slide in those, or are those the crappy old ones? They
Oh,
used to do?
these are water slides, for sure.
Yeah, they're getting better with
That's
water.
what I'm happy about would be the shield ones here. These purple. Those are supposed to be for the shield to make that kind of spotted leopard look, but it would have been nice had they made the unicorn logo here separate from those purple spots, so you could do your own airbrushing that way if you wanted to. But it doesn't. It comes that way, so you basically have to use that if you're gonna or cut it out. But I'm not sure how you can cut it out. It's really tough to do.
See, I'd ask Clem this question, but he shifts on kits so much, it's like a wasted question.
What?
Literally.
And then I also have this. Sorry, this is a detail set for it as well. And this has a bunch of rivets and thrusters. It's not as extensive as some that I've had, but it's just basically a few thrusters, some rivets, some beads. Comes with an LED unit for the head. Similar to what I got for the new Vertog, except the new Vertog was much more extensive. Had a lot more stuff.
All right. Someone in chat asked, any kits you guys are looking forward to? The Double X Master Grade for me.
Yeah. That new
Spider
Zeta
bike.
that new Zeta one coming out. The
I have no idea what's coming out.
Clem wants the Bear Guy family, or whatever the new one's called. The newer one.
I've had my head down on this project for so long, I can't remember what's coming out either. So.
There's nothing coming out that's exciting me at this point, so I'd say nothing.
Are you sitting on a backlog, Tim? Is that it?
Wait,
No.
isn't there that, what's it called, that GM Cannon that's coming out? That looks awesome.
That's a P Bandai, though.
Huh?
That's a P Bandai.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, afraid so.
They dick people
Wow.
over with that one. That could be a big seller, but they're like, no, we're gonna make a P Bandai.
That heavy weapons set was too. I had to buy that online to get it. So.
Explain to me, because maybe some people don't know, but I have no idea what that is. What does that even mean?
Premium Bandai.
Bandai.
In other words, you can't buy it here.
you have to get in Japan.
So you're saying I'd have to fly to the moon country pretty much to get this taken care of?
No,
You have to pay a third party. You have to buy it from a supplier overseas, so you'll end up paying for it for sure. Yeah, just like the Talgi 3 that's supposed to come out. That's a premium Bandai too. I was looking forward to that until I found out I had to buy it.
You're not missing much by not getting a wing kit.
Oh, here's one of the guys was talking about the first one that we did of these. One guy was talking about prismatic paint. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And I didn't have my webcam set up to show this because I actually had this kit painted with prismatic paint. And I know Clem was trying to show a few things, show some stuff about it, but this was painted. This is a Turn X Master Grade.
I didn't even know you finished that thing.
Yeah, I was snapping it actually at some of the build galleries, but this is done with prismatic green, and it goes from green to gold. Kind of see it
I love
change
that
color as I turn it. And I also just picked up the prismatic blue, which I think I'm going to redo the backpack in that, because right now it's just a navy blue color.
We need to talk later, Mike. I think I'm gonna paint my O, and prismatic blue sounds like something unique.
Yeah, it goes from I can go grab the bottle. It's an all clad, and it goes from blue to red, I think. And let me go grab the bottle real quick. It's got the colors on it. What it changes.
Yeah, you hear that, Angel? I might paint that son of a bitch finally, but maybe I should prime him first and see how bad a job I did on Sandy.
Hey, you do that, I'll redo my own.
Don't. You already added so much to it. Just let me wallow in mediocrity, all right?
Okay, it's a prismatic sapphire. All right, now let me see if you can see this.
I think I have that one.
Prismatic sapphire goes from deep blue to UV. It sounds
Yeah,
pretty cool.
I
I've
think I
never
had
used it.
that one. I used it unsuccessfully, but it was on a smaller Warhammer figure, so it probably just didn't transition right.
You
I'm
have to
sure it worked
have.
fine on a Gundam or something.
You also have to have a nice gloss base, something pretty dark. Um, what I did with the green on this is I primed it, but I didn't prime it with a conventional primer. I used a clear base, all clad clear base, because I wanted. The other problem I had was that the green. I wanted to use the base green that the plastic kit came in as part of the color behind it. So it was an experiment. I had to experiment several times, and actually before I figured out what I was going to use, because the black, if I used a black base, it just was too dark. The prismatic never showed up nicely like it does here. That's because this is painted right over that the green, that minty green color that the kit comes in, and
Yeah,
that's able to get this color. Because if I'd used a black base, it would have been way darker than this. But you can kind of see how the gold and green shifts as you
did you put
get.
any lights in that kit? I thought you put one in it.
I did here in the hand. It's not in there, right? It's not on. I don't have the battery.
Hmm.
Yeah, I never really wired it. I was going to put some kind of a circuit in there, and then I found I could just fit a battery inside this big fat arm, so I just shoved an LED in it with a light bulb, with a battery attached to it, and it lit up. So, but I was trying to find some kind of a weapons effects that would come out of here that looked better than the one that came with the kit, because the one that comes with it is a nice flat-looking piece of crap.
It's that crappy plastic, probably, right?
Yeah, and it's orange, and it was flat. Didn't have any dimension to it. So I was trying to find something online, a nice weapons effect that I could have shooting out of that, and then light that up with like an orange LED or something like that. But
I gave you the Turn A, right? Like I found it. I was just missing like one small thing, right?
It's on the top shelf collecting dust.
That's fine. Whatever. It was doing worse. It was in a box here collecting dust, so it's better that maybe one day it'll get life.
Yeah, we'll bring him down here. Here he is. We'll just set him right next to Turner. There we go.
All right, people. This is what one of the first master grades I ever built looks like. It. Don't
Here
use
it is.
Gundam markers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't use Gundam markers. It's awful.
So I was going to try to revive this thing. I'll do that someday. I'm not sure. Make
Like
something.
anything could fix it. I didn't even sand that kit right, so anything could fix that kit.
I mean, I like the Turn X. It was kind of an interesting build, but I used all-clad stainless steel on the frame, so that was kind of nice. But it just never came out as good as I would have liked. Prismatic paint was an experiment for me. And then another thing, it was so many layers that I lost all my panel lines. So, I know Matt was talking about that earlier about so many layers of paint, because I had to put so many layers of the prismatic, so many layers of the clear coat. By the time I got to panel line it, there was literally nothing left on a lot of the panel lines, because they were so small and so shallow that they just filled up with paint.
I had that happen. I used to try to build the Gundam X kits. They were like not high grade. They were I'll just say crap grade, no grade. And if you barely sand those seams are gone. Those kits sucked.
You can see, I don't know if you can see it, but some of the panel lines just on these shoulder pieces, they're so fine. They barely even show up.
We're gonna have to get you an HD cam to show those.
Yeah, I mean, they're so shallow, and then add paint to that, and they just go around. Unless you scribe them and rescribe them to make them deeper, there's really no way around it.
Angel, do you have anything in the pipes, or you just pick one as you go?
What, as far as new kits coming out?
Well, just after this monstrosity you're working on, do you have one like, oh, I'm going to work on this one that I have, or you're like, I'm waiting for this particular?
Diorama.
Yeah.
Diorama, I'm not gonna start until like September.
It's this guy.
I'm gonna just I'm gonna do like a quick I'm gonna do the Finis Resenta, and I'm gonna display that at like a local comic book store for the show. Then I have this resin kit for the what is it, the Bono Samala or something? It's one of the kits from the Jupiter's in the Data series.
Oh,
So I'm gonna do that. So I have all four kits. You know, the yellow, the Palazatine, and the Data.
Someone has some OCD.
is it really OCD when you already have most of them? It's like, I just need one more.
Yeah, it is.
OCD is like the million lights you put in that Sazabi.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, Matt bought an upgrade kit for his software car, right?
The metal set?
Well, no, your last your Sazabi, you had a nice thruster and rivet set, right?
Yeah. The orange one I did. Yeah. So the thrusters were.
Yeah, you got the red ones, right?
Yeah. Yeah, they
Yeah,
look really good.
I found one similar to that, but I think it has a little bit more.
More what?
I think it's a yellow. The thrusters are yellow on this one. But
Oh yeah.
I think there's more in this kit than what you had. Yours was almost exactly the same. This is it right here.
I didn't use a lot of the stuff that came with it. I used a lot of. The balls and beads that came with it. I used what I had already. There's a lot of different things in there. I didn't want 50 different types of metal options.
There's 27 bags of different stuff in this. It's pretty wild.
So I pared it back and just kind of to keep it more consistent. I used a lot of stuff I've already had. I used all the thrusters. I used the pipes around the neck and the waist that came with that.
Big ass thrusters in this thing.
It was a nice set, and it wasn't that expensive. I think it was less than. I think I paid like $45 or something for it.
Yeah, I think I got 79. I think shipped for 79. I mean, it sounds expensive, but when you look at how much is in here, and you think about buying each one of these packs individually, you'd spend probably well over $100.
Exactly. Yeah.
Little crystal model.
If you don't use it all, you put it in your stash, and you've got more parts. You know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had some left over from the new Verka that I had. And some of the beads and stuff like that. There's a lot of these little BBs in there, little half a millimeter diameter BBs that, detail stuff. You never use them all. There's like 100 of them.
Exactly. I think on the orange one I did, I put in. I actually think I have over 100 beads in it.
George, what scale are you working on? Sweet Jesus, you weren't kidding.
The Lanos I was working on before is 1/35th, and this right now I just switched to a Machine & Krieger. It's 1/20th scale.
What are you doing to that? I saw you working with the elbow. Did you putty into the elbow or something to?
Sure, I'll show you. See, the kit comes with these. Sorry, these gray joint parts. They're made of like a polycap material.
All right.
And, they actually look pretty good, but I don't feel like they're going to take paint very well.
Yeah,
so
PVC
kind of
are kind of like crap.
Yeah, so the usual approach with Machine and Krieger kits is you get rid of whatever the kit came with for the joints, and then you just resculpt them with epoxy putty to make them look like baggy fabric over mechanical parts.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that probably worked really well for one of the Pat Labor kits or something.
Yeah, I want to do that with my Pat Labor kits too when I get to them. Of course, a lot of people don't like that because it kills the posability, but sacrifices.
Yeah, but are you really going to be like, oh, I'm going to pose it in 6 different ways?
It's not
More
like
like going to be, here's this pose, deal with it.
it's not like a bathtub toy. You know, you take a bathtub and play with it.
Yeah, I mean, you really can't do anything with the rubber joints that the Pat Labor kits come with anyway.
Yeah, it's really crappy. But the new ones, the Master Grade ones, have a unique, a new covering for those internal parts. It's not rubber anymore. It's more like a foil.
Oh, you mean the 1/48 scale kit from the new series?
Yeah, from the movie version, the Ingram. Let me see if I can pull it up. Somewhere. Batch. Yeah, this guy right here.
Yeah, like from looking at the scans of that, it looked almost like it was like the joint covers on the new Pat Labor kit were made out of bits of trash bag or something.
Yeah, it's actually. I saw a kid building one, and he was really having a hard time with it. I think it's probably, consider if you're going to build this, you should be fairly experienced in what you're doing, because they're just little tubes of this kind of like this. I want to say foil, but it's not. It
Kind of like Mylar or something.
will hold its shape when you wrap it around something. It's not like rubber stuff that they used to use. It's just really bulky. You know what? Let me take it out. Let me see if I can.
It's real thin though, right? It's thin, and then you bunch it up when you put it on.
It's pretty thin stuff, yeah, and then it'll hold its shape. Let me cut this bag open because it comes in a little green pouch in here. See here. Wow. Yeah, it's pretty thin stuff. Yeah, here it
Ultra
is.
thin for her enjoyment.
It's like a tube. It almost looks like a piece of what shrink tubing would look like when you first buy it. But it's pretty thin stuff. These are flattened out, but you can open them up, see, and put whatever it is down the center of it, and then I guess you're supposed to kind of twist it around the part so it looks like that fabricy, baggy fabric that you're talking about.
All I'm hearing is bag up, throw in trash, do something else.
That's quite possibly what might happen. And there's 2 pieces
Like,
there, and I think that's all I
the
see.
most-
Is that the package only has a couple of pieces in it, and it's basically just for the hips and the knees.
The most ridiculous is like the Alex NT. It has that crappy plastic joint bit stuff where I'm like, this is awful. It looks awful.
Well, I think that was actually kind of a good middle ground. I mean, it's like whatever they put in the kit, experienced builders are probably not going to want to use it because there's no posable solution for good-looking fabric joints. But with the hard plastic ones, they look reasonably good and they're still posable, more so than the rubber ones. But those of us who want to replace them anyway can still just trash them and do epoxy putty or whatever.
Hi.
Hello.
Oh, sorry. What? I was getting bombarded. My phone was blowing up there.
Look at Mr. Popular over here. Getting phone calls at
Line over there.
9 and 26 at night.
Yeah, well, don't be jealous.
We have 5 more minutes till that.
Hey, look, Tim, I'm online.
Tim stepped away. He just wanted to bust your balls and then like run off.
What an asshole.
Hold up. Who's online?
Who was that? I didn't hear it.
Chris,
Oh, snap.
wait, got the new type shirt on too.
Nice.
So you're showing here. Let me switch over to you, Chris, because you said you wanted to show the transition.
I got really bad lighting here.
And I can kind of see it.
Where are you at? What are we looking at?
I'm using a different type of prismatic. The Spastics for 5-star storage kit.
What's the brand?
Spastics. No.
Yeah, that green one was the Turn X is the first time I've used any kind of prismatic before.
I think the all-clad one it's a little too, the pigment's a little too thick. Like this one, I really wish I had a better camera. Like, you could barely see it. It's really nice.
Now, what's
In
the color?
in the live feed, it actually looks clearer than the feed we see. Strangely.
What's the color shift on it?
This is actually 2 different ones. This is like my test piece. One is, give me a second. I'm trying to put this together. Hold on a second.
What two colors usually, you know?
No. I'm trying to get the models. I got one is gold to red, and the other one is orange to purple to teal.
Damn, that sounds cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like all the all-clad ones are just a 2-color shift, not a 3. That'd be kind of.
Oh, they have a bunch more. It's just I wanted a purple, because it's kind of close to what the con looks like.
The guy that I was texting you just now, he's the one who's building the diorama of the landing strip for the airport.
Mike, every time you prop that up, I think you're trying to catch like Bugs Bunny or something.
I need to put a little piece of food under there and a string.
Free birds.
This is an extra piece, a scrap piece of the poplar that I use for the base, and it's just the right length. I can prop it up and I can install my batteries and all that stuff, and then take it out and pop it down. So if I really wanted to get ingenuitive, I'd put a hinge on it and actually have it stored up underneath me.
You're either trying to trap Bugs Bunny or James Woods.
Yeah, so anyway, I think I could probably start painting my brick now that I colored up. Some of you know my work area is under my condo, so I hope you don't hear what's going on above me right now.
It's under what?
It's under the condo that I live in. It's actually my man cave, and it's literally underneath the main floor of the condo.
Oh.
Clem has seen it, and he says it's smaller than some of the workstations in China, but everything's within reach. I don't mind. I don't mind it too much. But because of that, there are pipes and things above me, and when people take showers and such, you can hear the water draining, and I'm just hoping that it's not transferring over to what the audio is there. Otherwise, I'll have to.
I barely hear anything. And for audience out there, Mike's like 6'2".
What?
How tall are you, Mike?
6'4".
Yeah. So think about that.
Well, it's not that I have to duck around, underneath here, but it's still high enough to walk around in. But it's just literally drain pipes and insulation and stuff right above my head. So
Does it get cold in there?
Not really. It actually. Angel just said flush. No, it's actually a shower going on, but it doesn't. It actually stays kind of mild. It can get kind of warm in the summer, but because the AC unit is down here, whenever the AC's on, it stays cool in here too. So not too bad. Not too bad at all. Because I got insulation from it, so it stays insulated down there too.
All right, Clem, we're approaching the, well, we passed the 930.
Are we?
Yep.
Oh yeah. Wow, that went fast.
And fuzzy anything?
Right when I
Wait, people. It's the legendary Airman kit.
Haven't seen that in a while.
well, you know, I was looking at stuff and decided maybe I want to work on this guy because it's pretty close to sculpting and whatnot.
He was almost done.
I wasn't almost done.
You did the hardest part. You dremelled out his torso, you fit a fan in it, you rounded his head so you can draw the stupid eyes on him later.
I know. Still got a long way to go on that.
I think you were thinking actually about putting the fan in his arm because he has that fan arm, but I think that's about when you stopped.
I don't know where I stopped. I didn't even know I was start with the gun.
Yep, there it is. Yeah, you were doing it.
But I guess we're at the end of our broadcast, so thanks for watching. And if anyone has send us emails. We'll try to do this again in another 2 weeks. And see you in 2 weeks.